Good morning, family. It's a beautiful day out here in the garden. It's a gorgeous Sunday morning. It's nice and quiet. Someone's rooster is crowing over there in the background, and I thought I would do a video. So welcome back, family. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tanya Brown, and I am the Busy Brown Angel. Good morning, family. Good morning, family. Don't forget, grow some trees. Grow some food, grow something. Let's get started. So we are a few days away from Passover, or Pesach, however you choose to say it. If you hear people say Pesach, Pesach is just the Hebrew word for Passover. So I've been getting questions. As many of you know, I am a non-meat eater. I do not eat meat. I do not eat fish. I eat fish. I do not eat chicken or turkey or anything like that either. No lamb, no nothing. So people want to know, how do I keep the Passover, or how I am going to keep the Passover? First, let's talk about what Passover is. So if you've never read the Bible, or you've never seen any of the Ten Commandment movies, you may not know what Passover actually is. Passover is a memorial. In Genesis, you find the Hebrew people being led into Egypt because of a famine. Well, while they are there in the famine, and you get over to the book of Exodus, it tells us how Joseph, who was one of the forefathers who brought them into Egypt and gave them land and everything under the Pharaoh that he was under, has passed away. And then Pharaoh passed away. And a new Pharaoh has taken place, and he doesn't know Joseph. He sees the Hebrew people growing into a great nation, and he's fearful. He thinks they're going to try to conquer them or take over, and he ends up enslaving the Hebrew people and making them slaves. Moses, or Moshe, is a man that the Most High chose to lead his people out of captivity in Egypt. So during this time, he sends multiple plagues onto the land of Egypt until his people are finally released. During the last plague, God sent his angel of death to walk through Egypt, and it killed all of the firstborn children. But to protect the Hebrew people, God's chosen people, they were told to slaughter a lamb. The lamb had to be perfect. It had to be without blemish, without spot. And the blood of this lamb was taken and placed. They had to put it all around the doorpost, over the mantle, just all around the door. And they had to stay inside all night long. No one could leave. That blood of the lamb was their protection. Now, they were also ordered to eat the lamb. The lamb had to be roasted over fire. You couldn't boil it, you couldn't bake it, you couldn't saute it. It had to be roasted over fire. They also had to have bitter herbs with it. It's not that they had to, that's what they had available. It had to be eaten in haste. So because they were eating in haste, their bread did not rise that night. They had to eat the bread before it could rise. Anything that was left over, it had to be burned with fire. You couldn't have any leftovers. You couldn't take anything with you. They were preparing to leave the next morning. They were leaving in haste. So everything had to be done in haste. Passover is the memorial of that night. So you also, in scripture, the Most High tells us that we must take a lamb without spot, without blemish, and the lamb is to be eaten. It is to be consumed, all of it. We are also to take bitter herbs, unleavened bread, because this is what they had that night in Egypt when they were waiting. And so this is a memorial that is held to that event. Now, if you're someone like me and you don't eat meat, not even a little bit, not even occasionally, don't even have a taste for it, the smell of it actually makes me nauseous. So how does someone like me keep Passover? Well, if you are like me and you believe in Yeshua, or as many say, Christ or Jesus, then you know that scripture tells us that he is our Passover. He is our Passover lamb. So with me, when I do it, I use the bitter herbs, the unleavened bread, and wine, but Yeshua is my Passover. He is my Passover lamb. Now, for anyone else who does not believe in Yeshua, yeah, you do have to do the lamb. Or you can actually just choose to do the lamb even if you do believe in him. Like I said, for someone like me, I don't eat meat. I could substitute. There are lots of substitutes. And for the rest of the week, for the Feast of Unleavened Bread, I will be having salmon and fish and things like that. Mostly vegetables and grains. As I was saying, if you are like me and you believe in Yeshua, and you believe Yeshua to be Amashiach, then he is our Passover lamb. If you are a Messianic Jew, if you are a Hebrew Israelite, or if you are just someone who just loves the Most High and you want to honor his word from Genesis to Revelation, you want to keep his word, you want to keep his commandments, you want to keep his laws, you want to keep his statutes, then yeah, there is a way for us non-meat eaters to do that. And like I said, you have to accept Yeshua as a Mashiach. Okay, so one of the other things that I love doing at this time is watching the 10 Commandments. Not the 1936 Cecil B. DeMille version, not the 1956 glamorized version with Yul Brynner, although I love Yul Brynner, don't get me wrong. But there is a 2007 version, and it is the most biblically correct version of the 10 Commandments I have ever seen. It shows everything from Moses being given to his mother to nurse. It shows them when they leave, they're taking Joseph's bones out of Egypt with them. It deals with Moses's anger issues, the fear that he had going back, not knowing actually who God was because he was raised as an Egyptian and not as a Hebrew. It shows, you know, of course, him killing the Egyptian and hiding his body. It does the plagues. It does them in the wilderness. It even shows the Israelite on Israelite battles and how they were battling one another, and you know how many of the Israelites were slaughtered in the wilderness. It is, like I said, the most biblically correct movie I have ever seen as far as the 10 Commandments and things go. Of course, it's Hollywood, so of course they did the casting the way they felt it should be, and some things are a little more sensationalized, and then you have things that were added in to show how certain things came about that you won't actually find in the scripture, but you'll find the commandments for them, all the way down to the first stoning of someone. But yeah, you even have how, you know, Aaron slipped and, you know, helped the people build, you know, the golden calf. Like I said, it's got a lot in there, and it's got more than any other movie I've ever seen on the 10 Commandments or the Exodus. So it's also a great activity to do on Passover, because you have the scripture, and if you're like a lot of people, you learn visually. You know, you can read things, you can have people tell you things, but you kind of, you know, you kind of want to see it with your own eyes. It actually helps a lot. So like I said, that one is the most biblically correct version that I have ever seen. So that is the 10 Commandments, the 2007 edition. So you guys, you know what? Check it out. You can watch it on Passover, or you can watch it for the next 7 days, you know, during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But I kind of watch it almost every day around this time. I hope you guys enjoy it too. I am going to continue to enjoy this Sunday. Not too much because I'm still racing the clock to get my taxes done, but I'm going to try to enjoy it as much as I possibly can, and I hope you guys enjoy your day also. I hope you had a blessed weekend. I want you guys to know that no matter what is going on in this world, no matter how hard things seem to be, no matter how terrible people are, just know that the Most High is still in control. His Son is still in control. His blood is still our protection. So you guys, guess what? Happy Passover. The last time I said this, I totally butchered it. I was trying to be really fast and getting the video out before anybody woke up. So it's Chag Sameach. It is not Chag Sameach. It is Chag Sameach. So thank you all. Have a blessed Passover. Have a blessed Pesach. and I will see you all in the next video.